Coming up on Murrow News 8, snow and intense weather impacting travel all over the state.
And who the new ASWSU president and vice president will be coming up.
I'm Ibrahim Daniel.
And I'm Logan Sear.
Road conditions are up in the air as snow continues to berate the passes. I-90, Highway 12, and Road 20 and 410 are all closed. These images are taken from different cameras on these closed routes as the snow remains. Some travelers can be seen in stop-and-go conditions while snow piles Stevens Pass is open at the moment, though change are required for vehicles without all-wheel drive.
But for those of us in Pullman, it sounds like the weather isn't going to be quite as severe. Augustus, is that right?
Yeah, thanks. I'll tell you what, the only problem is it's a little bit ugly outside, but as I'm sure you guys have all seen, it's a little bit of a rain and snow mix, and we'll kind of see that as we go out through the rest of the week. Whatever snow we do see, it will get washed away. But right now we're looking at a high of 41 and a low of 39. It's not going to change too much. But as we get into tomorrow, it's kind of a similar feeling, but just basically replace any snow we see with just more rain. We love the rain here in Washington. We're going to be looking at a high of 42 and a low of 25. And if you think you might be able to escape this ugly weather in Washington, well, good luck, folks. You really can. If we take a look at the state map here, if you can point out anywhere in this chart here where it doesn't show rain, please let me know. If you take a look at the west side where you have Seattle and Olympia all covered in rain. But here's the really weird thing. Even though we're in early March, this middle area of Washington, they're sitting in low 50s. And I'll show it the 5-day forecast, but we're going to beat that later on this at the end of next week. And then, of course, on the east side, Spokane, Pullman, rain. So as I've said, if you want to try to get out of it, good luck. But I'll show you guys that 5-day forecast and I'll get out the way so you guys can take a look. It is not looking super pretty as we get into the early part of next week, as we're getting low 40s and high 30s for our lows, so nothing too crazy. And then once we hit Monday through Wednesday, this is where things get really different. As you kind of see, it starts to slowly rise. It gets from 50 to 69 degrees right at the end. So folks, I don't know what kind of weather we're having, but it is really changing up on us, and expect to replace those rain jackets with some shorts. Anyway, that's all for weather. See you guys later.
Washington State Patrol will be conducting speed emphasis patrols as students head out for spring break. Students driving across the state for spring break should expect to see an increased presence of officers on Highway 26, I-95, and 90. Emphasis checks began yesterday and will continue through March 22nd.
There are multiple flights currently delayed at the Spokane airport, very much due to the winter weather affecting Washington State this morning. Flights to Seattle, Phoenix, and Orange County are currently delayed, and one flight to Seattle has actually been canceled.
Looks like Norma may be experiencing some technical difficulties, but according to her, oh, never mind. It looks like we got Norma back. Norma?
Yeah, thanks you guys. As you can see, some wintry weather has unexpectedly showed up again in Pullman. But the real problem comes in when students try to get home to the west side of the state today and tomorrow for spring break. As of right now, the winter conditions have completely closed east and westbound I-90 headed into Ellensburg and Snoqualmie Pass. Snoqualmie Pass is completely closed after multiple crashes were reported earlier this morning. But as of right now, Stevens and White Pass are still open, but experiencing some of that same heavy snowfall that Snoqualmie is, and may close later in the day. As of right now, your best bets to be getting home to the west side and the Seattle area are to take US State Route 12 down through Walla Walla, or head down into the Vancouver, Portland area and take northbound I-5 up through Olympia and Tacoma. As for airfare, the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport has grounded over 100 flights as of right now due to the severe winter conditions over the Cascade Mountain Pass. But the Spokane and Pullman regional airports are operating as normal. So maybe before you head out, take some time and plan some alternate routes, or check and make sure your flights are not delayed or canceled. Thanks you guys, back to the desk.
ASWSU voting has ended and the winners of the election were announced. Current ASWSU Vice President Grace Carpenter won the presidential race with her running mate Reed Scott. Carpenter and Scott received over 60% of the vote, while Colin Bannister and Emily Bell campaign received about 39%. Hear about the reactions to the results.
All right, congratulations on the win, you guys. What are your initial reactions to the win?
Well, I definitely cried, but I'm just so excited for what we have planned for the future. And we couldn't have done it without any of our campaign members and every single organization on campus that supported us. And we're just really grateful for all of y'all.
I also say I think that just by us running, we changed culture on campus and we changed ASWSU for the better. And I think that that alone is like incredibly satisfying and like really why we ran. Like that's why we wanted to run, is we wanted things to get better for WSU students. And so I think that, you know, even though this isn't what we wanted, we did achieve our goal.
And as you guys saw, the ASWSU elections have come to a close after the first contested presidential ticket in 3 years. But do students even really recognize the importance of student government? Our reporter Norma has that story for us.
Yeah, I wouldn't really know the candidates that much.
Not too much. I wish I knew more. I knew very little about the president and vice president campaigns.
Right now, we're on the ground floor of the Compton Union building. But if we head up these elevators right here, you will end up on the 3rd floor of the Compton Union building, which is home to the Associated Students of Washington State University and a few other clubs here on campus. Voting for executive tickets ended today for ASWSU, but many students don't even know what ASWSU is, and interviewed students today said they didn't know much about candidates or their campaigns.
I think it only stems from me having friends within ASWSU, so I get that first insider view of it.
ASWSU is passionate about community issues.
Yeah, I appreciate the question because I think that that is a perception a lot of people have had on student government.
But there seems to be an emotional disconnect between the school's politicians on fire for change and regular students, many saying they only voted today for the free treats given out at the voting booths.
It really incited people because they were giving out free drinks.
But I think because they did, a lot of people were like, oh, it's something free and all you have to do is vote.
Reporting from Pullman, I'm Norma Fulweiler for Murrow News 8.
Our reporter Tyler Kolbis went to Chick-fil-A to see how things went day one.
Long lines and packed parking lots marked the opening day of the new Chick-fil-A in Moscow Thursday. Customers began lining up earlier in the day, eager to try the popular chicken sandwich and waffle fries the chain is known for. The restaurant sits just a few miles from Washington State University and right next to the University of Idaho, making it an easy stop for students looking for a quick meal. Many say the new location gives them a closer option instead of traveling into downtown University of Idaho just for Chick-fil-A. For employees, opening day brought both excitement and a busy start.
They're saying training that they're expecting us to generate like $80,000 to $100,000 in one day. And if you don't know anything about restaurants, that's very high, right? So when I worked at Jack in the Box, on average, it was a good day if we made $4,000. Now we're timesing that by dang near, 12?
Daniel says staff members have spent weeks preparing for the grand opening and expected a strong turnout from the community. With the restaurant officially open, that preparation is already being put to the test. After waiting in line, I kid you not, for nearly 30 minutes, I finally got my hands on their famous chicken sandwich. Now, is 30 minutes worth a wait? Well, for opening day it might be, but wait for time to pass along and these lines will slowly quiet down. But with Chick-fil-A finally opening here in Moscow, this place will always be busy. Judging by the crowds on opening day, the restaurant could quickly become a regular stop from students and residents alike. And with the popularity of the brand continuing to grow, the new location may remain busy well beyond its first day. Reporting from Moscow, Idaho, I'm Tyler Kolbis, Murrow News 8.
Well, I can tell you this, I didn't really end up sitting in that line yesterday, but I didn't really have to. We have actually a man on the inside with us. Abe was working there yesterday, and I wanted to hear what he had from a worker standpoint. Abe?
I'll tell you what, I didn't think that it was going to be as busy as it was. Yes, I know that we don't have a Chick-fil-A in really close to Moscow and Pullman, but I walk in there, it's flooded with people. And then I clock in, and all of a sudden I got to make 90 things of 30-piece nuggets, and I'm just like, there's no way that people need this much chicken. But it did feel amazing to be able to provide a service for the community and see all the smiles on people's faces. The Vandals, though, in other news, are going dancing in March. Both the Idaho men's and women's team won the Big Sky tournament, with the men's won the Big Sky for the first time in 36 years. The women's team was the 1 seed and clinched the tournament with a 60-57 win over Montana State. The men's team went on a Cinderella run as the 7 seed and knocked off Montana 77-66 to punch their ticket into the big dance. Here's what Coach Alex Pibble had to say.
It was a really, really special day for our athletic department. This was the vision 3 years ago when we took over the program, was to build a program that we could be proud of, that was competing for championships, and that did it the right way.
A boiler room in a Palouse home caught fire Wednesday morning. Palouse Fire Department responded to the scene at 9:46 and was able to put out the fire. Thankfully, no injuries were reported.
Washington State's regents discussed the decision to spend $20 million in university allocation on athletics Thursday during a faculty meeting. WSU top academic provost T. Chris Riley Tillman told the faculty no decisions have been made yet, but assures no programs will be cut because of the relocation of funds.
Well, the university has funds, and so there are available that are available. We haven't gone through the budget. I'm not going to be able to identify exactly what pot it comes out of because it hasn't come out of a pot yet until the board does it. What I can say is we are not going to cut programs for this. I'm not going to give a particular college a cut to move the money over to athletics. I'm not dumb. I recognize that everybody is going to say anything that is cut or changed must be athletics. People are going to say that, and that's not going to be accurate this cycle.
After the break, WSU's response to travel to the Middle East.
And new traffic delays that may affect your drive through downtown Pullman coming up.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Amid United States and Iran conflict, WSU has placed a travel ban on the Middle East. The decision was made by the Risk Management Executive Committee to restrict travel was because of unreasonable threat to safety and security. The ban affects all WSU faculty, staff, volunteers, and students traveling internationally for university-related purposes.
Many schools' spring break starts this weekend, but many are finding travel to be complicated, and for some, even being canceled. Many folks are learning last second that their vacations might be a little smaller than they hoped. Our reporter Augustus Marceau explores why trips changing and how it impacts what little time they have off.
And then I'll arrive 24 hours later. But I was okay with that because I'd gladly take the money.
Gustav Zonders loves to travel and was on his way back home to Sweden during spring break.
We need 8 volunteers.
When an offer just too good landed right in front of him.
And it's going to be $2,000 per volunteer.
After flights out of SeaTac became canceled, delayed, and then overbooked, they needed opportunists like Gustav to help them out.
I get to stay here in Seattle for one night, and I'm getting some money, and I didn't have any stress to go back.
Now, Gustav was completely fine, But he was going from here to here. Why was it so difficult? Well, it's because of what's going on here.
Now, if you're like Gustav, getting to your location a few hours late isn't the end of the world. But some people use spring break for more than just a vacation, and anything international is getting really tripped up by these events.
Lisa Winnan-Jones is a professor at Washington State University that was supposed to go to Armenia with the school to work with journalists.
Packing.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm watching the news and just thinking, like, this situation's not getting better.
But with the conflict between the U.S., Israel, and Iran, travel has become challenging and in some cases completely stopped.
Some of them are worried about family around the region. There's a lot of connections with Lebanon, and obviously things are pretty difficult there right now.
In fact, as of March 10th, WSU's Risk Management Executive Committee prohibits all travel to certain countries in the Middle East, mostly including those that surround Iran.
Most likely the trip is still going to happen again in the future. The problem is, at this point, we really have no idea when.
For those like Lisa, a spring break trip of getting away from it all, planned for months, can be stripped away at a moment's notice.
To try to remember that the alternative, could end up being interesting too.
Yeah.
I don't know that that'll happen in Walla Walla, but who knows?
But for folks like Gustav,
I would love to have another $2,000 day. Like, if I can basically get $2,000 for sitting in a hotel and watch TikTok, I would do that.
a longer wait isn't so bad. In Pullman, Murrow News 8, Augustus Marceau.
And if you're heading up Main Street or Stadium Way before leaving for spring break, you can expect 24-hour traffic delays starting this Monday. The Chews are going to be installing new traffic signal and signs. The traffic should be wrapped up by Tuesday, March 24th, so ride us back as we come back from spring break. Up next in sports, the children of late Colfax coach earns honors.
And what WSU athletes have to say about their NIL opportunities.
It's okay to be scared. You don't have to be so strong.
Strength is not optional. This is my mother, my purpose. Real muscle is lifting her spirits between bedpans and bad news from doctors that doubt her strength. Strength is buried in bills, managing meds, and swallowing those moments of, Mom, it's me, your daughter. Remember? My strength is super, but I'm still human, right?
Look who's here. There she is. Thanks for your patience.
How you feel?
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community, or call 1-877-333-5885.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work.
Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
The children of late Colfax high basketball coach Reese Jenkins have earned State Player of the Week awards. Coach Jenkins recently passed away after a battle with lung cancer. On the day he died, his daughter Allie dropped 41 points in the opening round of the state tournament. His son Adric led Colfax to a state title, dropping 33 points in the championship game. 2 Washington State athletes gave their opinions on profiting off their name, image, and likeness as a college athlete. Our reporter Ella Price has more on the story.
Sometimes a little bit intimidating to have to, so carefully cultivate your brand and your image on social media.
This is Kate Hendrick, a dancer at WSU who is an athlete experiencing the new world of NIL.
Because, one slip up and you never know what's going to happen. It gives you more of a spotlight, which, like I said, is a privilege, but it is a bit of an added pressure.
Student athletes in the NCAA are now able to profit off of their own name, image, and likeness, also known as NIL. This is seen in the new world of college sports and has caused a huge shift. Students are now able to profit off of their own name and build partnerships with brands.
We already have that basis of knowledge and how to represent ourselves, and the fact that you can use that to partner with brands and organizations and make money off of it is great.
Being a student and an athlete is already a full-time job. NIL has allowed athletes such as WSU women's volleyball player Naomi White to focus on her academics and sport while also making money.
Work in a way to like promote yourself and like kind of be able to help somebody else out with their business and also be able to earn something from it. So I definitely think it's very good, and it's just it's a great way to show appreciation for all the student athletes out there.
Now, while some may question how money affects team relationships, Naomi says as teammates, it's never a competition.
We're here to uplift everyone and still work hard, and if somebody were to be given more money, then good for them, they earned it.
I'm Ella Price, reporting in Pullman, Washington with Murrow, News 8.
WSU baseball opens a 3-game series in San Diego today as they play San Diego State University. The Cougs are looking to bounce back after dropping 3 of 4 against Texas State last week. First pitch is scheduled for 6 p.m. tonight, and the game will be streamed on the Mountain West Network. The knockout round of the World Baseball Classic starts today. Team USA is looking to bounce back after a heartbreaking loss to Italy. They will play Pool A winner Canada. The winner of that game will go on to play the winner of Korea versus Dominican Republic. The USA game starts at 5 p.m. on Fox with Korea and DR on FS2.
A follow-up on the story of a cat who was recently rescued.
Days, months,
Hey, I'm Jim from across the street.
years,
I'd like to give you this.
a lifetime can rush by without realizing what we're missing. But it doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to take action. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
A Washington State student is celebrating a miracle after her cat was found missing after over a month. Our reporter Madeline Wallace has the story.
Horrible. Every day was like an emotional roller coaster of like hope when someone like calls in a sighting, and then grief when I follow the sighting and it's either not him or he's not there. Probably cried every day because I was a mess.
For nearly a month, Emma searched across Pullman for her missing cat Simba, never knowing if she would see him again.
Simba was my first true cat of my own. I got him when he was 8 weeks old. My emotional support baby.
Emma says Simba disappeared late at night, slipping out of her apartment.
I woke up for a spin class at like 5:30 a.m. And I was looking around my apartment and realized that Simba was nowhere to be found. That began the search.
Emma and her boyfriend spent hours searching nearby neighborhoods, putting up posters and following every possible sighting. But as days turned into weeks, hope began to fade.
Definitely like at the week mark, 2-week mark, 3-week mark, like every time I kept hitting those kind of, intervals, I was like, am I is this futile? Like, I don't know. I would get into moments where I was like, maybe I should give up. But
then nearly 27 days later, Emma received a phone call she never expected.
And then my phone rang, and it was this girl who said, I think I found your cat, and he does not look very good.
Emma says Simba was discovered here in this area, lying in a snowbank and barely responsive. After nearly a month in freezing temperatures, he was then rushed to the vet teaching hospital here at WSU. Veterinarians say he was in critical condition and suffering from severe hypothermia and shock.
So he was hypothermic. His temperature was unreadable, like below 90 degrees for the first 2 hours at least, despite like they were actively warming him in the ICU.
But against all odds, Simba survived and made it back home.
Oh my gosh, I am so elated that I have him back. Like, I will never take him for granted again. Like, walking in the door and like laying my eyes on him and his brother and seeing that they're home safe and sound is just everything, and it's reminded me about the simple things in life.
In Pullman, I'm Madeline Wallace, Murrow News 8.
The Port of Whitman County has received a $10,000 grant to support local businesses. The grant comes from the Washington State Micro Enterprise Association and is aimed at small businesses with 1 to 5 employees and less than $50,000 in the startup costs. Reportedly, the Colfax Downtown Association will be using their portion of the funds for technical assistance. After the break, we will be talking about the break giving students an opportunity to relax.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Spring break begins this weekend for all WSU students and will continue through March 22nd. Some students will be heading back home, but others, like our very own Grace Harvey, are headed out of the country for various academic programs. Grace is headed to Vietnam for a backpack journalism adventure. But what about the rest of the guys? What are your plans for spring break? I know for me, I'm going to be in Pullman, still working at Chick-fil-A. How about you, TK?
I'm actually going to be going to Korea, which is very nice, but my flight to Seattle just got canceled, so I got to figure out a way to get to Seattle. Guess what are your plans?
I mean, it's dependent on the pass, so I'm hoping I get to go home pretty soon. I know, Logan, you're similar.
Yeah, I will be going home as well, but yeah, no big plans as far as that. But that's unfortunately going to do it for us today. Make sure you guys follow us on socials, and we'll see you next time.